So I get a lot of messages from teachers, administrators, asking questions about specific problems or just issues that they might be having. That might not necessarily be a problem, but it might be stuff having to do with procedures or how to handle situations, or even how to approach their leadership. I thought it was very interesting because a lot of these conversations, whether it's via text or phone calls, turn into kind of coaching / therapy sessions. And I am not a therapist by any means, so please do not go out there saying Uche said he's a therapist. But I am a coach. I've been coaching all throughout my career as an educator. I have been mentoring all throughout my career as an educator. And I've also done some consulting work with peers and even people who just reached out to me generally just saying, hey, here is a problem or practice I need help with. What should I do? But the thing that I think has been very interesting is just those conversations that have turned into, really unpacking what's really going on. For example, I've had teachers who've reached out to me saying, hey, I'm having a hard time communicating with my principal. This is what happened. I had got this observation, or they came into my classroom and they saw one thing, but that was not the full picture. And I feel like I'm being thrown into a doghouse and I don't know how to get out of it. Because every time I try to communicate with my principal or my assistant principal, things just go left. So again, those types of situations are very common. And that's what kind of feeds into this whole them versus us versus them spaces that are created in a lot of schools. And I talk them through it. And a lot of times, in having this conversation, what comes out of it is there are these underlying historical traumas and issues that both parties are bringing to the conversation. So what ends up happening is no one's hearing each other. So it just becomes more transactional. Do this, and if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. Versus, let's have a conversation. Let's make sure that it's understood what's expected. Even better yet, understood, and let's also understand why is this happening this way. What is being lost in translation? Or better yet, what am I not seeing? So I'm saying all this to say that today, Friday, at 10 o'clock this evening, I'm going to be having the next episode of the Sneaker Principal podcast, which is now a call-in show. And what I'm going to hopefully be able to do is take some calls in from teachers, administrators, whoever who might be listening. It might be a parent. I don't know, who would like to share situations and get my advice on how to handle them. Because I think a lot of times things don't get addressed and things go left, and they didn't have to. So I'm hoping that tonight might be a nice shift, and maybe every Friday might just be, education therapy. That sounds good. It just doesn't vibe like Education Therapy Fridays. That might be it. Education Therapy Fridays. Listen, there's a lot that happens in schools, and people just think that kids show up and kids go to classroom and we just teach and that's it. But they forget about the human capital factor. We are all coming into school situations, whether you're a teacher, whether you're support staff, whether you're an administrator, with our own human, issues and conditionings and expectations. And often it doesn't align with each other, and it causes unfortunate issues and dramas that don't need to happen. And when those things happen, who suffers? The students, our kids. They suffer because then we're not performing at our highest level. So tonight, join me, let's talk, and hopefully we can find ways to better handle the situations in our schools. And I welcome any other people out there who are veterans, who are professionals, who want to call in and share their ideas and their thoughts as well. All right, with that being said, this is Uche Njoku, Sneaker Principal. I'll see you guys tonight at 10 o'clock. LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. At 10 o'clock, you will find me in one of those spaces. Just look for the Sneaker Principal. All right? Peace.